Everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this is our second lecture of current electricity. In the previous lectures we have studied what is electric current, the type of electric current, the properties of electric current, and we saw the electromotive force, the difference between electromotive force and potential difference. As you know, the EMF is also one type of potential difference, and we saw the current carriers in different type of conductor, insulator, in solids, in gases, and we saw that in a metal the current carriers are electrons, or we can say free electrons. We saw that electric current is a scalar quantity. So in today's lecture we are going to study the drift velocity, what is drift velocity, the mobility and their relation with electric current. First we will see what is drift velocity, how it is different from thermal velocity, and after that we will derive an expression for drift velocity. So as you know, in a conductor there are free electrons. We saw that there are free electrons which are called current carriers in conductors. So these electrons keep on moving in that conductor. At room temperature, these electrons move at random within the body of the conductor like this. If this is your conductor, say this is a metal wire, and there are so many free electrons are there. So at room temperature, these electrons have some random motion. That's why we call it free electrons. So if these are the free electrons, they have some random distribution of speeds, or we can say they move randomly within the conductor like gas molecules. So the velocity which the free electrons have at the room temperature is called their thermal velocity, or I can say if U1, U2, U3 and so on Un, suppose there are n number of free electrons, and U1, U2, U3 and so on Un are the number of thermal velocities, U1, U2, U3 and so on Un, then if we calculate the average of the thermal velocity, it comes out to be 0. Means when I add these velocities and divide the velocities by the number n, then it comes out to be 0, or we can say the thermal velocity, average thermal velocity is 0 in any conductor. So if we see the result of thermal velocity only, there will be no net flow of electrons or charges inside the conductor. As you can see, the total average of the velocities comes out to be 0. But if I apply a potential difference across the ends of this conductor, then electrons will move towards higher potential. So if I apply a potential across this conductor, the free electrons will experience a force, or I can say the free electrons will drift towards the higher potential. This kind of motion or drifting is called drift velocity. So I can write drift velocity as when electric field is applied across a conductor, free electrons experience a force in the direction of higher potential and drift in the direction of force. Suppose in this conductor, if I apply electric potential, this is at higher potential, this is at lower potential, then instead of drifting like this, these electrons will drift like this. This electron will try to drift in the direction of higher potential. This electron will drift. This electron will drift, and there will be some drift velocity inside this conductor. And the net drift velocity is not 0, as all the free electrons are moving towards the higher potential. So this drift velocity is responsible for current because it is not cancelled out like thermal velocity. As you saw, the thermal velocity gets cancelled out, net average thermal velocity comes out to be 0, but the drift velocity has some value, it does not comes out to be 0. So this drift velocity is responsible for current. Second important point to note is this drift velocity is very small, but it is still effective to make a current because the number of electron in a conductor is very large. As you can see, one electron drift very small distance, so the drift velocity because of only one electron will be very small, but combinedly if we see there are n number of electrons, and you saw that in conductor number of free electrons is very large, so the drift velocity is effective to make a current because the number of electron in a conductor is very large. So finally, drift velocity can be defined as the average velocity with which the free electrons in a conductor gets drifted towards the positive end of conductor. You saw there was a thermal velocity when there was no external electric field applied, because there are free electrons inside the conductor, they move in room temperature, they move here and there, and the total thermal velocity comes out to be 0. But if we apply some external electric field across the conductor, then those electrons get drifted towards the positive end, or we can say these electrons get drifted towards the higher potential, and the average of the drift velocities is called net drift velocity or drift velocity. Now we will see the derivation of drift velocity. If this is the scenario inside a conductor and this is external electric field, the direction of electric field is from positive to negative direction. So this is our higher potential point, this is our lower potential point, and there are n number of free electrons inside a conductor. I take electron has negative charge, so it gets drifted towards the positive plate, or I can say the higher potential. So this is the direction of drift velocity of this electron. This equation of motion we already know, v is equals to u plus at, where v is the final velocity, u is initial velocity, a is acceleration, and t is time. So if u is equals to 0 initially, I take initial velocity as 0, and here I am calculating the drift velocity. So in the place of v, I will write v small d, d in the subscript of v. So vd denotes our drift velocity. So putting u equals to 0 in this equation, I get vd is equals to a into t, where a is acceleration and t is time. So now what will be that time? As you know, inside a conductor there are n number of free electrons and they move and collide with each other. So this time period is the time elapsed between two collisions. Means there are n number of electrons. Suppose these are your electrons and some electrons are moving with thermal velocity. They move and collide with each other. So when this electron collides with this electron, after that it collides with another electron. So the time between two consecutive collision is called your relaxation time. So this is the time called relaxation time. Here we show t with a tau. Tau is relaxation time. So relaxation time, we show it by a letter tau. Tau is the time period elapsed between two consecutive collisions. So if T1, T2 and so on Tn is a relaxation time for individual atoms, then average of these times is called your relaxation time. If the temperature increases, the relaxation time decreases. You can understand it by this explanation, that if I increase the temperature of this conductor, then number of collisions will be high. As the temperature increases, the mobility of electrons also increases. So as the velocity or the thermal velocity gets high, then number of collision increases and the time between two collision decreases. So resultantly the relaxation time decreases while increasing the temperature. So with increasing temperature, tau decreases. Now we will calculate the value of A, the acceleration value. As you know, the acceleration is related with force. As force is equals to ma, so I can write acceleration A is equals to F divided by m, that is force divided by mass. So here force is electrostatic force, and formula for force is Q into E. In the place of Q, I can write minus E as charge of electron, and E is electric field, divided by m. So A comes out to be minus EE divided by m. Now I will put the value of A and value of T as tau in this equation, and after putting this, Vd comes out to be, in the place of A I will write minus EE divided by m, and in the place of T it is relaxation time. So Vd comes out to be, or this is average velocity or drift velocity we can say, Vd comes out to be minus EE tau divided by m. So from this formula you can see that the drift velocity depends upon the electric field and tau, and if the temperature increases as the tau decreases, so Vd also decreases on the increase of temperature. This average velocity is due to application of electric field in one direction. You saw it here. This is due to the electric field in one direction. Hence it is called your drift velocity, as electrons drift towards the higher potential. I hope now you have understood the concept of drift velocity and also the derivation of drift velocity. Now we will find a relation between electric current and drift velocity. Next topic is electric current and drift velocity. In this topic we will first understand the relation between electric current and drift velocity and derive the relation between these two. So suppose we have a conductor like this. This is your conductor having a length L and area of cross section is A. As this is a conductor, there would be many or n number of free electrons, and if I apply a potential difference, it will have some drift velocity, and drift velocity I show by a letter Vd. So if length is equals to L, area of cross section is equal to A, drift velocity is Vd, and number of electrons is n, then number of total electrons inside this will be equal to, this is number of free electrons or electrons will be equal to, total number of electrons will be equal to n into A into L, as n is the number of electrons per unit volume. So total number of electrons will be equal to NaL, as one electron has a charge of minus q. So total charge, I will write it here, total charge inside this conductor will be equal to q is equal to minus E NaL. I simply multiply the total number of electron by minus E, as charge on one electron is minus E. So as external electric field is set up, due to external electric field a drift velocity is set up and electrons keep drifting. So time period for all electrons to drift complete length as I apply external electric field here, the free electrons keep on drifting towards the higher potential. So the time period to complete this length, to drift complete length L, would be equal to, as I am calculating the time period will be equal to total distance upon total velocity. So time period will be equal to total distance divided by velocity. So the time is equal to total distance is L divided by velocity, and velocity is drift velocity. So it is L divided by Vd. As in this derivation we are calculating we are deriving the relation between electric current and drift velocity. So from the definition of current I is equals to Q divided by T. It is total charge divided by time period. So from this equation I write it equation number 1, and this is equation number 2. This is the equation for time, and this is the equation for total charge. So in the place of Q I will write minus ENA into L here, and divided by time. Time is L divided by Vd. So it comes like this. L gets cancelled by L in the numerator, and formula for I comes out to be ENA V into D, or I can arrange it like this, NEA V D. So the formula of electric current in terms of drift velocity comes out to be minus of NEA VD, where negative sign stands for negative charge of electron. So N is the number of free electrons in a conductor, E is charge of electron, A is area of cross section, and Vd is the drift velocity. Here the negative sign stands for negative charge of electron, and negative sign shows that the direction of electric current is taken as opposite to the direction of Vd. Means if electron drift in this direction, the direction of current will be opposite to Vd. Next term in this chapter which you will come across is mobility. So mobility of a charge carrier in particular medium is drift velocity developed when electric field applied is unity. As you know, when we apply electric field or external electric field across a conductor, a drift velocity gets generated. So if I apply unit electric field or electric field 1 unit in any conductor, then drift velocity is called your mobility. So formula for mobility is, we show mobility by letter mu. Mu is equals to drift velocity divided by electric field. So this is the formula for mobility. In the place of Vd, I can write minus E tau divided by m. We have already derived it. So in the place of Vd, I write E tau divided by m, and there is already one E in the denominator. So E gets cancelled out, and mobility comes out to be minus E tau divided by m. Or in the place of minus E, I can write Q, that is charge, into relaxation time divided by m. So mobility depends upon charge, time and mass. So from this formula it is easy for us to calculate the mobility of electrons and mobility of holes in this case of semiconductor. So mobility of electron will be equal to minus E tau divided by m, and mobility of holes will be, this is h, mu h will be equal to E tau divided by m. So that is all for today. This is the mobility, and you are instructed to calculate the unit and dimension of mobility. So that is all for today. Today we saw the drift velocity, the relation between current and drift velocity, And lastly, we calculated the mobility. So mobility of charge carrier in particular medium is the drift velocity developed when electric field applied is unity. Thank you for watching this video.